Water is essential to every system and function of the human body. On average, the human body is 70 to 75% water, the key nutrient every cell relies on to survive. We can survive for 3 weeks without food, but without water, we can't survive more than 3 days. In many ways, we are water. Our lungs are 83% water. The brain and heart are 73% water. Plasma, the liquid portion of our blood that carries blood cells, nutrients, and hormones throughout the body, is 90% water. Water is life, but not all water is created equal.
We know that full well when considering cities like Flint, Michigan, and clean water initiatives in developing countries, but if we're not being noticeably negatively affected, we tend to not think about the quality and content of the water that we're consuming. Well, think about this. Our municipal water supply is significantly contaminated and commonly compromised by industrial waste, agricultural waste, human waste, fluoride, chlorine, atrazine, just to name a few contaminants and chemicals that come out of our tap. Now, many who are aware of this choose to drink, prepare food, and even brush their teeth with plastic bottled water. Unfortunately, plastic bottled water presents a plethora of problems. Here are a few. The production and manufacturing of bottled water is largely unregulated, which is a health hazard for anyone drinking from these bottles. And we now know that a large percent of bottled water is actually just tap water that's been reprocessed. Well, reprocessed, bottled, and sold at more than 3,000 times the cost of tap water.
Now back to the health hazard. In a test of 259 bottled waters sold around the world, 93% of them contained microplastics, including top brands like Aquafina, Dasani, Evian, Nestle Pure Life, San Pellegrino, and others. While micro sounds small, many of these plastics were visible to the human eye without microscope or magnifying glass. Further, the chemicals in plastic bottles that leach into the bottled water as they're exposed to time and heat are implicated in the obesity epidemic, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, reproductive problems, and neural problems like attention deficit disorder. And beyond that, there's a correlation between exposure to these plastic pollutants and non-communicable diseases. And these are just consequences for the people consuming plastic bottled water. But what about our planet?
We are in the midst of a single-use plastic epidemic. 79% of all plastic ever produced, which can last for centuries, ends up scattered about our beautiful planet, in landfills, and in our oceans. Our oceans are full of plastic. The largest of 5 main gyres in our oceans is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is 1.6 million square miles. To put that in context, that's 2 times the size of Texas and 3 times the size of France. All of this plastic pollution is devastating our global ecosystem, decreasing our quality of life, and threatening our way of life as we know it. So, what can you do about all of this? Well, if you want access to not only clean water, but the healthiest, most hydrating living water in the comfort of your home or with you as you travel, if you want to eliminate your contribution to the single-use plastic epidemic by removing plastic bottled water, household cleaning supplies, toiletries, and beauty products, all while saving money, well, then we'd like to introduce you to your brand new K8.
Your Enagic K8 water ionizer connects directly to your faucet, and with the turn of your knob, turns tap water into living ionized water. So what is ionized water and why does it matter? In short, ionized water is rich in molecular hydrogen, the strongest antioxidant known to man. And it has the unique ability to hydrate on a cellular level, making ionized water incomparably effective at hydration, antioxidation, and detoxification. This is exactly why drinking ionized water matters so much.
First, hydration. 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. That's right, 75% of Americans, who themselves are made up of up to 75% water, chronically lack the hydration necessary for their bodies to function, let alone thrive. Hydration is the difference between a grape and a raisin. Ionized water has the unique ability to permeate our cellular wall, even the blood-brain barrier, hydrating us at the very foundational cellular level. Second, antioxidation. Think of oxidation as an apple turning brown after you cut it and leave it on your counter. Oxidation is naturally occurring in all of us, all of the time, but it's amplified due to our high-stress lifestyle and our toxic environments. Many of us are overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, and highly stressed. Oxidative stress and oxidation lead to free radical damage, which is at the center of many chronic illnesses and diseases. Ionized, antioxidant-rich water neutralizes free radicals and free radical damage, decreases oxidation, decreases inflammation, and slows the very aging process that's going on inside of our bodies. Third, detoxification. I'm sure I don't have to say this, but toxins, chemicals, and pollutants have not only compromised our water quality, but the quality of our air, soil, and food. We breathe in pollutants. We bathe in chemicals, and we eat and drink toxins. All of this poison, internalized, wreaks havoc on our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. Ionized water, rich in molecular hydrogen, permeates our cellular wall and flushes out these pollutants, chemicals, and toxins, effectively detoxifying our bodies.
Now, how does your K8 turn tap water into living ionized water? Well, your K8 harnesses electricity, sending an electrical charge through 8 internal platinum-dipped titanium plates, which ionizes your water, changing the molecular structure. Here are 2 of the most significant results. First, this process of electrolysis adds electrons to the naturally occurring minerals in your water. These electrons neutralize free radicals. Second, ionized water is rich in molecular hydrogen. There are over 1,000 publications on molecular hydrogen, which suggest that molecular hydrogen is therapeutic in 170 different human and animal diseases, and it's effective in essentially every organ in the human body. Molecular hydrogen targets the most harmful and toxic free radicals, namely the hydroxyl radical. Because hydrogen, or H2, has 2 hydrogen atoms, one H2 molecule neutralizes 2 hydroxyl radicals. In doing so, molecular hydrogen remediates oxidative stress, which is one of the most fundamental mechanisms that destroys human health. So while Kangen water will pass through your system quickly, there are residual, therapeutic, protective effects of molecular hydrogen that last for hours, days, and even weeks. Not only does molecular hydrogen have a positive impact on disease, the research shows positive impacts on anxiety, depression, alleviating the central nervous system, and benefiting sleep. We're talking about living water improving your overall quality of life. And that's just the drinking water.
In total, your K8 produces 7 kinds of water with more than 70 in-home uses. The 7 kinds of water range on the pH potential hydrogen scale from 11.5 highly alkalized to 2.5 extremely acidic. The highly alkalized 11.5 pH water effectively emulsifies oil. So I use it to clean my kitchen, counters, and stovetop, since it cuts through oil-based stains and residue. I also use it as a household cleaner, cleaning everything from my bathroom to my windows. And I've even used 11.5 to replace dishwashing liquid and laundry detergent. Now, we also use 11.5 to treat all of the produce that we eat as a family. Produce is commonly treated with pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides, and 11.5 has effectively been proven to remove 80 to 95% of pesticides. As we've discussed, 9.5, 9.0, and 8.5 pH Kangen water are incredibly antioxidant and therapeutic drinking waters. 7.0 is neutral on the pH scale, so it's best for prescription medicine. So the medicine absorbs as the manufacturers intend. Also, 7.0 is recommended for baby formula. 6.0 is beauty water, which is effective as a skin toner, and I've even used it as a replacement for my hair conditioner. Also, 6.0 is the same pH as rainwater, so there's no better water for your plants. 2.5 is extremely acidic hypochlorous acid water, which is an effective antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. Hypochlorous acid water sterilizes and sanitizes, so your K8 provides an endless supply of hand and surface sanitizer, which has never been more important. Okay, earlier we discussed that your K8 comes with an internal filter. The filter is effective at removing chlorine, rust, lead, and any particle 0.5 micron or larger. Now I will say, the primary function of your water ionizer is ionization. It's not filtration, but still you have a solid pre-filter in your K8. So what I want you to see here is how effective the pre-filter is at removing chlorine. So this is chlorine tester drops. I'm going to drop them in here into the Kangen water. And then I'm going to drop them into this tap water right next to it. Let me go ahead and stir it up just so you can see. It shows up yellow if there is chlorine. And we'll add these in just a second. What I'm going to do is add this cucumber into the tap water. And then I'm going to add my fingers in here while I talk about this briefly. Chlorine has been incredibly normalized in Western culture. We know that it's in our municipal water supply. We understand that it's in the pool when we go swimming, and we might itch or it might dry out our hair. And again, the same thing for our showers, right? We understand that chlorine is common in our municipal water supply. Even though that's normal, it is harmful, and that's something that all of us need to understand, is that chlorine is an incredibly harmful chemical that we're getting exposed to on a regular basis. Okay, and the amount of time that it took me to tell you that, watch how quickly our bodies and our food, if we wash it in tap water, absorbs chlorine. See a little bit of chlorine remaining, but most of it has absorbed into my skin in those few seconds I was talking. And again, in the few moments that I was talking, all of the chlorine from the tap water absorbed into your cucumber. So enjoy your meal. Okay, now this is an ORP meter. ORP stands for oxidation reduction potential. This tool measures whether a liquid is oxidizing or antioxidizing. When the number is positive, the liquid is oxidizing, and that means that the liquid is increasing the rate at which our cells deteriorate or age. When the number is negative, the liquid is antioxidizing. And again, that means that the liquid is decreasing the rate at which our cells deteriorate or age. Now we're going to measure a number of commonly consumed bottled beverages, from common bottled waters to alkaline waters, as well as sodas and sports drinks, and lastly, tap water and 9.5 Kangen water. So let's see if they're oxidizing or antioxidizing. Okay, now as you can see, all of the bottled beverages measured in the positive hundreds, meaning that every single one of them, from soda to spring water, even alkaline water, is oxidizing. Again, increasing the rate at which our cells deteriorate. And that was also the case for tap water, which was one of the most oxidizing. whereas ionized Kangen water is the only liquid with a negative reading, again, nearly negative 800 immediately out of the machine. This means that Kangen water is the only liquid that is uniquely and incredibly anti-oxidizing, slowing down the deterioration of our cells and thus slowing down the aging process of our body. Now you can see why Enagic's slogan is change your water, change your life. One thing that I feel the need to clarify, oftentimes ionized Kangen water is referred to as alkaline water. And then if you go on the internet, like many people do, and search alkaline water, you'll see that there's a whole host of discussion, debate, and even detriment associated with alkaline water. That's because alkaline water in its truest sense is not only plastic bottled alkaline water, but it's synthetic alkaline water, in that chemicals are used to make the water read as if it does have a higher pH, namely, like this bottled water, sodium bicarbonate. So again, you're getting the quote alkaline capacity from this water from a chemical, from a synthetic change, as opposed to the true negative ORP capacity uniquely of ionized Kangen water that again is oftentimes referred to as alkaline, but the benefit again is the fact that it's living, that it has an electrical charge, and that it's antioxidant rich with molecular hydrogen as opposed to a synthetic chemical alkaline.
Thank you so much for joining us. This water has changed our lives in so many incredible ways, and we're so excited for the many ways it will change yours.
Now, I need to say that your K8 is not the only water ionizer on the market, but your K8 is the only medical grade water ionizer. Kangen water ionizers are certified as a medical device by Japan's Ministry of Health and are the only water ionizer company in the world to receive the Water Quality Association's exclusive Gold Seal Award. In addition, your K8 is OEM, directly from Enagic. OEM stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer, which means that Enagic creates everything in-house from each part of the water ionizer all the way to the cardboard box that your ionizer arrives in. Further, Enagic was established in Japan in 1974 and to this day is the industry standard in water ionizer technology. Now, if you're considering other water ionizers, please note the difference between the size and makeup of the internal plates. Enagic's plates have a surface area up to 450 times the size of other water ionizers. And Enagic's plates are made of solid platinum-dipped titanium as opposed to mesh, which can quickly calcify, losing their ability to conduct electricity. One more comment. Calcification is more likely to occur when a machine does not have a manual cleaning option, which many competitors' machines do not have. Know that your K8 comes with an auto clean function as well as the deep manual clean option, which ensures the life of your plates. This manual clean function and the quality of Enagic's plates is exactly how Enagic water ionizers last more than 40 years. So, as you can see, this one-time investment can last an entire lifetime. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn how Kangen water will change your life.